Yo, what's going on, guys? Koi here. Today we're going to be talking about Lightning Max now. This was another one that, people wanted. Remember, if you guys do want me to drop this information and, do this build first, then you got to let me know in the comments below. I will totally get to it the second I get to it. It's just that I don't have a lot of these characters and I have to go get the information in order to build these characters without having them. So, I've done it with Zombie Man and stuff like that. So it's pretty obvious that they're pretty easy to build as long as you actually have an idea of how complicated the build is, what to put on it, and stuff like that. It really just depends on you. I know a lot of people just want to know what to put on the character, and that's totally reasonable. You're in your own right to know information that you want to know without anything complicated and stuff like that. We all look for builds out here. And I'm not joking. I mean, freaking, obviously, there's no builds out here because everyone just kind of forgets that builds exist until, a day ago. So, let's go ahead and dip into it. If you are looking for other builds for other characters, though, don't forget to check out the playlist down below. I got pretty much. I'm gonna be working on every single character in the entire game, so that's just what you got to know. Now let's go ahead and dip into it. So, Lightning Max is actually one of the first characters you actually get in the game. He is a guaranteed character. So, let's take a look at his stats. Looks like he is a crit build character with lots of HP, but a lack of defense and decent composure reduction. But let's see where he actually shines by checking out his potential. So over here, whenever you have gunpowder, damage dealt by normal attacks is increased by 25%. That's just nice. It's nice to have. We got penetrating eye, and we got mind reader, which means that he's going to be able to get mind reader 5 and penetrating eye. Uh, I think 5 as well, or 4. I mean 6. Well, I'll show you guys whenever we get into the build. Provide lightning kick increases to 20%. So it's just like a little bit of bonuses here and there. He's just a raw damage dealer. Uh, loading cursor lands into an orange zone. The duration of attack bonus increased to 20 seconds. So it's like pretty just decent just attack stat growth. I wouldn't say that you really need potential to make this guy crazy. And I'll show you why his build is probably the best part about his entire kit. Roundhouse kicks the enemies more than 40 times. Actions during the next 6 seconds won't consume gunpowder, which is more of just a nice little, a nice piece, but I wouldn't say it's incredibly important. There's characters that have very important amounts of potential, and then there's characters that just have mediocre potential at best. So let's go ahead and talk about his impression arms. He has 3 different builds you could do. One of them is pretty much his all-out, his all-out damage build, which is this one. Encourages self, but can be enhanced to pretty much encourage the entire team to pretty much do a bonus of attack stat, but really increasing attack stats of mostly assault-based characters. He also gains a big 32 crit whenever it comes down to gunpowder loading. So pretty much he's just pretty much a continuous damage unit. Over here, we have composure reduction. If you just want to run him as a composure reducer, then that's nice too. We also got a healer kit over here, but this one only works for himself, so it's not really that good. I would always steer away from doing healer kits that only heal yourself, because that's kind of useless when there's characters out here who could heal 2 allies or even heal more than 2 allies. I would even say, if you enhance this enough, all allies. You know what I mean? So there's way better healer kits out there. I would say that mostly you're going to be using this guy for either composure reduction or just straight up damage. Really just depends on which build you really want to run, which build you get more cards for. But, that's just totally you. Let's go ahead and talk about the build. Now, this is one of those characters that I actually do recommend building at least a little bit of defense on, and I'll talk about why right now. So, for instance, you'll see that we are missing 2 nodes right here, and the reason we're missing 2 nodes is due to the fact that he is going to be gaining a node for Penetrating Eye and a node for Mind Reader, taking Penetrating Eye to 5 and taking Mind Reader to 4, if you get that potential up to 4. Some people do have potential 4, some people don't have potential 4 right now, but that's totally mix and match up to you. But the real kicker is getting Yellow Flash as soon as possible to level 3, because what do you call it? When lightning Max is in a state where attacks do not consume gunpowder, all skill cooldown pretty much, and I'll talk about what that actually means when we actually get into the gameplay, but all skill cooldown is reduced by 50%, which is huge. That means this dude's going to be just pretty much very, very fast on the battlefield. And we'll talk about his kit and what makes him so powerful. Impassioned, obviously, we want this dude to do as much damage as he possibly can. We got Mind Reader, we got crit damage, pretty good. And then we got Steadfast. This is one of the only characters I would recommend running something like Steadfast on. And it really just has to do with the fact that this dude is gonna take damage. Even if you're maining him or not maining him, he's gonna take damage because of his spam kicks. His roundhouse kick will put him in place for about like 10 seconds straight, which is just pretty hardcore, and your guy's going to take a significant amount of damage. Hence why I also say you want those main stats to be an attack and also defense. You do want some attack and some defense in the substats too, or you could just go all defense and HP. I would also recommend that too, because I think defense and HP will give this guy a lot more survivability, especially since he's like not going to be your craziest damage dealer, but he's definitely going to be there doing damage. So let's go ahead and dip into the gameplay and explain his kit there too. So let's go to gameplay. Let's go ahead and go to free training, Swift, and then start training. So over here we do have the charge up. The charge up goes to perfect. Now whenever the charge up is perfect, you will see that the character actually gains just infinite charge right there. So now whenever I use so right here, let's say we get it. Now this is going to be infinite charge. As you can see, he's going to take a little bit of damage. It's not very significant. He's got a move in button. Out. He's also got a double dodge. If you use the gunpowder in your shoes, you can see double dodge. Double dodge is very nice. You see this on characters like Snek and stuff like that. But this one only costs gunpowder, which is a nice little double tap. Let's see. We also got Roundhouse. Roundhouse will pretty much work no matter what. Even if you're missing a little bit of gunpowder, it will take some gunpowder if you don't get the infinite. But this dude's just mainly going to be doing damage. And the other part is whenever he does complete his full-on kit, which is just attacking, he will go into the state where he just starts running. And this is like not his craziest state. I would say like utilizing his R skill is definitely a lot better. Obviously, as you can see, just dishing out ridiculous amounts of damage. This dude's going to be a ridiculous damage dealer. Ooh. You could also follow up. But, you know, it really just takes a little bit of finesse. I really dropped this guy the second I actually had him due to the fact that I didn't want to use him. Not because he's bad, but just because of the fact that he wasn't something I needed because I was actually running Spring Mustachio at the time. So, you know, that's just something to look into. He's got an amazing kit, amazing damage dealer. The DPS is off the charts. The dude's definitely up there whenever it comes down to just offhands in general or main. But I would prefer using this guy as an offhand instead due to the fact that Lightning Max AI can pretty much do everything that you can do. There's nothing incredibly special about his kit, which is going to force you to do anything that you don't want to do, such as like Puri Prisoners needs to block, Genos needs to switch forms, dodge, Spring Mustachio needs to dodge, stuff like that. You know what I mean? This dude's just simple. So freaking simple, it's crazy. And you could really, really benefit from an all-out attack crit build, but I would recommend just get as much defense as you possibly can, as well as attack, because you don't want this dude to die. He has a high chance of dying whenever he's in roundhouse kick form. But I'll see you guys later. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Hit that notification bell down below. Don't forget to ring that bell to stay notified on future content. I'll see you guys later. Take it easy, and peace out.